So as part of the Airport Road Living Shoreline, we have a living breakwater, and that consists of these reef balls or pallet reef balls. And that's a concrete structure that was put in here in 2020. But since then, they have been colonized by oysters. And the initial generation was attached to the actual concrete, but now we have sequential generations that attach to the first shell and then the next shell. And so in many instances, we have about 6 inches of additional surface area that's because of the oysters that recruited onto the original reef balls. And they really look healthy. They're starting to, instead of being individual reef balls, they're starting to merge together now. So it's moving from a bunch of like 24 individual reef balls per reef to one unified oyster reef now, living reef. There's a bit of a trade-off sometimes when we create these breakwaters, because to allow them to be recruited by oysters, they have to be low enough in the tidal profile so that the oysters can survive. If they're higher, they actually do better wave protection, but then we can't recruit oysters. And so in this instance, they're really protecting the lower shoreline in the sense of its elevation. And we didn't think they would do as well as they did during Idalia, but we actually still found wave energy attenuation from these reef structures, even though there was almost 8 feet of water on top of those reefs. And that had a lot to do with the wavelength and the depth to which that energy was now being disrupted as it came over the top of those. And so they really helped protect this shoreline during the storm, even though there was a lot more water on there than we expected.